So my basketball disappeared, so I don't know what we're going to dunk today, but we're going to find something. You know what? It's only right.
In the trap and I'm tweaking with my brothers. Yeah, you bad, but I'm...
Yo, so y'all remember what I said about quitting caffeine? It was a lie. It was a lie all along.
I just wanna see him bleed. A bad bitch, something you will never see. I love my mom, but I also love these things.
And for today's video, we are going to be saving the career of none other than Bryce Young. If you guys know anything about me, I think in real life, Bryce Young's pretty past saving. I think that was proved with Andy Dalton getting thrown into the Panthers roster. Everybody was saying, you know, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield look like shit for the Panthers, and look at them now. What I have to say to that is neither of them played as bad as Bryce Young has been playing. This is some of the worst football I've ever seen. It makes me sad seeing everybody like shit on him on TV and stuff like that. I'm not famous enough for it to really matter. Bryce Young will never hear what I have to say, so I'm going to let it rip. They threw Andy Dalton in there, and he threw for 300 yards and 3 tuds, and the Panthers have looked better than they have the last, 17 games? No, like 19 games. But yeah, I genuinely hope Bryce Young proves me wrong because I would never wish on his downfall. I hope he has a great career in the NFL. Do I think he's going to? Probably not. But I do have an interesting approach we're going to go with for this video today. The approach we're going to go with today is the only chance Bryce Young would have of getting his career saved. So with that being said, let's get into the video. And I don't know. I don't know what the goal is going to be for this video. We really shouldn't be able to end it until Bryce Young is a successful NFL quarterback. So maybe he has to win a Super Bowl. Maybe he has to win an MVP. I don't know. But if he's not successful, I can't end the video. So we could go for like 10 years in this video. We're just going to have to see what happens. But for this first year, we're going to be trading Bryce Young away to a specific team that I have in mind. So we're going to be trading Bryce Young to the Los Angeles Rams for a 4th round pick in 2026. So now that Bryce Young is a Los Angeles Ram, he's going to have a year or two. Obviously, this is Madden, so it's not how it works, but he's going to have a year or two to sit behind Matt Stafford and learn. He's going to have Sean McVay as his head coach, who I give most of the credit to for reviving Baker Mayfield. He's going to get to play McVay's offense. He's going to get to use these weapons, and I think this is his best chance of us saving his career, and it's the most realistic way to do it according to real life, because obviously I could trade him to the Chiefs or something and get rid of Patrick Mahomes, but we're going to try to do this in the most realistic way possible. We're going to be saving Bryce Young. And with that being said, let's get into this rebuild. But before we hop into the video, if you haven't heard yet, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're doing a giveaway for when we do hit 1,000. All you have to do to be entered into the giveaway is be subscribed to the channel, take a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram. It'll be at the top of the screen right here. There'll also be a link in the description that you can just click on. Subscribing to the channel is free, taking a screenshot's free, sending me a DM on Instagram is also free, and you could have a chance to win an NFL jersey of your choice, and you get to be subscribed to the best channel on YouTube. Also, make sure you like the video because more people will see it, and we are on the road to 1,000 subs. I need it so bad, but I love each and every one of you, and thank you for 600 subscribers. All right, now we can get into the video. My bad. So we're obviously not going to be starting Bryce Young this first year. So I'm going to do everything behind the scenes. Like, I'm going to set the focus scouting position, and I'm going to do the focus players. But we're not going to pay too much attention to this year because this is not Bryce Young's year yet. We're going to let Matt Stafford, obviously, be the quarterback for the rest of the season. So I'll see you guys at the end of this year, and maybe Bryce Young will be the starter of next season, depending on how the Rams do in this season here. And the Los Angeles Rams finished 9-8, came in 3rd in the division, so maybe it will be Bryce Young's season this next year. We're going to go ahead, we're going to get straight into the offseason. We're going to see what we want to do. There's a chance Matt Stafford even retires, makes our job even easier, because it would be kind of hard to bench Matt Stafford for Bryce Young. But if we're looking at the longevity of this team and trying to save Bryce Young's career, it might be for the better to just throw him in there now. We'll just have to see. I do wish, Madden had some sort of thing, like a mentor upgrade. Like, if Bryce Young's sitting behind Matt Stafford, he could get some morale or some sort of boost from learning from somebody like him. Did Matt Stafford retire, though? That's the question. No, Matt Stafford has yet to retire. He'll probably be down to like a 70-something overall once we get into this season, so I'm not sure what the case is going to be there. We're going to have to see who's going to be the starting quarterback this year. But first, let's see if there's any re-signings we need to make here for the Rams. I don't think we need to re-sign Tutu Atwell. I don't think we need to re-sign... We could re-sign Havenstein. He's going to be expensive, though, and we focus scout a tackle in the draft, and he's not interested. So we're going to let Rob Havenstein hit free agency. Honestly, there's really nobody here we need to re-sign, so that gives us $97 million to work with in free agency, and if we are going to potentially be starting Bryce Young, we do need to put some talent around this team, so it's no situation like the Panthers where, yeah, I don't think Bryce Young is great, but I do think the team around him could be a lot better. See, now Chase Young could be an interesting signing. The pass rush for the Rams is nothing too crazy. Chase Young isn't very good in Madden, but I don't know. He wants $21 million a year. I personally don't think that's going to be worth it. I'd rather go with somebody like Diamador Lenore, to be honest. I think that'd be a good pickup. Our secondary isn't crazy. We got Tre'Davious White, but he's already 30 years old. Darius Williams is 30 years old. This is definitely somebody we could use for the long term of this team. Honestly, I caved. I gave Chase Young his base offer, and we're tied for the first place. I do want to give Lenore a better offer just because I want to make sure we can lock him down, but we are going to go for Chase Young. We're not going to give him any crazy money. We're just going to give him pretty much what the other teams are offering and see if maybe he wants to sign. Not sure what's going to happen. I do think we should get Lenore, though, so let's go ahead and send these offers through to both of these players. They both signed. We got Lenore. We did not get Chase Young, just like I expected. I'm not too mad with it. We added a good corner to our secondary that'll probably be here for 5 years or so, and now we're ready to get into the draft. We see what we want to do there. We definitely need to draft a tackle to protect Bryce Young. We might need to draft 2. And other than that, the rest of the team isn't terrible. I mean, down the line, we could use some pass rush help, but other than that, I think we're going to be good. Okay, so Matt Stafford actually got a dev trait upgrade, and is still an 82 overall going into this season. So, to keep this realistic, we're probably going to start Matt Stafford for 1 more year, which will make this harder because Bryce Young won't be 25 until he becomes a starter. But if we can have a good season, he'll get way more morale, and he could be up to like a 75 by the time he gets thrown into the offense, which could be better for him. So, for this draft, we're going to focus on this O-line. We need 2 new tackles, honestly. Maybe we should have re-signed Havenstein, but I don't think it would have been worth it. I think we're just going to try to address what we can in the draft. And then we could also use a middle linebacker. That's pretty easy to get in the late rounds of the draft, so I don't think that'll be too much of a worry after we address the offensive line. So let's get into the draft. Let's address this offensive line. Let's try to get a linebacker, and then we'll be ready to hop into the season. So in the first round, we're probably just going to go with the best tackle off the board. His name is Jeff Roberts. He's 21 out of Iowa State. Great strength, elite change of direction, A pass block power, not the best finesse. Not sure how this is going to work out, but we need a tackle bad, and this is the best one on the board. So Jeff Roberts, welcome to the Los Angeles Rams. Hidden dev, let's fucking go. We got to get tackle. Hopefully he can be here for pretty much the rest of Bryce Young's career. We're probably also going to use our second-round pick on an offensive lineman. Even if we could draft a guard that's like a pass protector, and maybe he's big enough to get slidden out to tackle, we could do that. We don't have a second-rounder. I'm honestly not sure where the Rams second rounder is. I don't think they use that for Tre'Davious White. I don't know. Regardless, let's see what we can get with this draft pick. Yeah, I really like Josh Jennings, but I just don't think he'd be a good tackle. He's a really good run blocker, but we need somebody to protect Matt Stafford and my boy Bryce Young. Is there any good tackles left on the board at all? There's one day 3 talent, which I mean, we'll probably end up having to take this guy in day 3 just because of how bad the O-line is right now. He's actually a pretty good pass blocker, so we'll definitely look into taking him in the 4th or the 5th round. For now, I guess let's just address middle linebacker if we're able to. There's normally some pretty good middle linebackers here in the late rounds of the draft, so I think we should be just fine. This draft class just doesn't look very good. We're probably going to reach on Lloyd McMorris here. Day 3 guy, but he has A injury, A tackle, B pursue. He's a run stopper linebacker. We'll move him into middle linebacker. He looks decent enough. I don't even know what to take. So we're just going to try to address the needs for this team, I guess, as of right now. He's only normal dev. He's going to be good enough to be a starter. He definitely doesn't look like that. I'll tell you that much. We're going to use this next pick to just draft that tackle that was a day 3 guy because we're going to be in the 4th round by now anyways. We're going to end up reaching on pretty much 2 players. Hopefully it'll end up being worth it. Hopefully we can get a little bit lucky. We're just going to have to find out. It's not like Bryce Young's going to be starting this year anyways, so he might be just fine. Joel Barton's the best offensive lineman left on the board. 23 at Georgia Tech, and he's a pretty decent pass blocker. So this is going to be our best bet. Joel Barton, welcome to the Rams, and he's normal dev, but he's probably going to be a starter once again anyways. I'm going to let the CPU have the rest of the draft. This draft class honestly wasn't very impressive. Not my best draft either. I had to reach on 2 players, which I probably could have done something different, but we really needed that help on the O-line. But let's get into this next year. It'll probably be Matt Stafford again, so we'll probably just try to skip over the year the fastest that we can, and then I think year 3 is going to be Bryce Young's season. We got 1 good tackle. The rest of our draft was pretty terrible. Barton's probably going to start on the right side anyways, probably going to allow 15 sacks or so, or knowing Madden, since he's a low overall, he'll probably only allow like 3 because that's how Madden works. Shout out Madden, best game I've ever seen. But at least Jeff Roberts is a 74 overall. We had 1 good draft pick. We're going to move McMorris in the middle linebacker. He's not going to be very good this year, like at all. At least we'll have somebody there. That was a really, really bad draft by me. Honestly, I take all the blame. Why does he have a double chin? I do see a situation here where at the midseason, if we're not playing too crazy or anything and we don't look like we're making a Super Bowl push, where we potentially trade Cooper Kupp, try to get a draft pick out of him so that we can build a better team around Bryce Young once he gets thrown in as the starter. For now, we're going to set the season goal to 7 wins because we really aren't a very high overall team. I think we have like a 79 or 80 overall team right now. Not very impressive whatsoever. And with us potentially trading Cooper Kupp or having to replace him here pretty soon, we'll probably end up scouting receivers for this year. O-line does look slightly better than it did going into the season before the draft. Bryce Young's already up to a 73 overall, so hopefully by the end of the year, he's like a 75 and we can throw him in and he'll do just fine. McMorris is going to be a starter on defense. We definitely need a scout middle linebacker once again. Secondary needs more help. We're probably going to end up scouting receiver and corner, and then I'll make like our secondary scout, a linebacker scout or something. So we're going to try to get through this season the fastest we can. We are going to stop at the midseason because I do want to see how we're doing, because we're probably going to end up trading Cooper Kupp. Honestly, we would have to be really damn good for me to not trade Cooper Kupp, because I really want to have enough draft picks that we can build around Bryce Young once he becomes a starter. But let's get to the midseason. Let's see how the team's looking. I won't be upset with honestly any result. Now we're 4-3 at the midseason. Damn, that leaves me in such a weird spot because we have the 9th best offense in the league in yards. It's probably the defense that's holding us back, would be my guess. 13th isn't bad either. Matt Stafford's balling out. Kyren Williams playing pretty good, and Cooper Kupp. Oh, the only problem is if we don't trade him now, we won't be able to get shit out of him whenever we do trade him. I don't think I can trade him, though, when we're doing this good and he has 10 touchdowns and that many receiving yards. I can't do it. Sorry, Bryce Young. I really wanted to get some extra draft picks for you, but I'm just not able to this year. I'm sorry. We do have to re-sign Kyren Williams. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll give him a 4-year, $32 million deal, which he does take. We have to re-sign Cam Curl as well. We'll go ahead and bring him back for 4 years, $39 million. We have Tre'Davious White as well. This is honestly somebody I'm willing to trade. We could probably get like a 2nd or 3rd rounder out of him just because Madden doesn't really understand trade value. And we got the Bengals 2nd round pick for my boy Tre'Davious White. Get the fuck out of here. You're old. And then the rest of these players aren't too important. We could bring back Tyler Higbee. He's already 32 years old. And honestly, tight ends are pretty easy to replace here in Madden. And then Bryce Young will have his 5th year. We probably won't be picking that up because it's got to be more expensive than it will be to re-sign him when that time comes. And then wide receiver, corner, our strengths of the class. We just traded a corner, but we're going to need receiver because Cooper Kupp's regressing. So which one do we go with? I'm going to go with receiver. I think corners are a little bit easier to kind of sniff out who's good or bad. And the receivers, like, they're normally all pretty decent, but it's hard to figure out which one really is that top guy. So let's get to the end of the year. Maybe the Rams can make like a Super Bowl run, and then the team would get a lot of morale. And then when Bryce Young gets thrown in, he could be close to an 80 overall. We're just going to have to see what happens. Let's get to the end of the season here. So we ended up finishing 5-12. So we should have traded Cooper Kupp. That's my mistake. Sorry that Cooper Kupp was balling out and we had a good offense, and I just thought maybe we should keep him, and then we finished with the 23rd. That's just great. Thank you, Madden. Matt Stafford was decent, but it's probably his last year as a starter. Cooper Kupp was honestly pretty damn good, so hopefully his overall will stay pretty high and we can still get some value when we trade him going into this year. Or maybe we just let Bryce Young throw to him. We'll just have to see what we want to do there. I don't know why Quinn Cephas was the 2nd receiver over Puka Nacua, but we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, 5-8. At least we'll have a good draft pick. I'll take it. But I wish we would have traded Cooper Kupp. I'm so dumb. I guess we could just trade him before the draft. I don't know why I'm tweaking. Matt Stafford are still yet to retire. We're probably going to bench him anyways. We got to get Bryce Young in here. He's the whole point of this video. This is not a Rams rebuild. We got to get Bryce Young thrown into the offense. So nobody here really we need to resign. We're obviously not going to pick up Bryce Young's 5th year. We already addressed that. We're going to let Tyler Higbee go. We can probably get a better replacement. So we're going to have $100 million to work with in free agency. Let's see some big names so we can build this team beautifully for Bryce Young, and he can go in and make the playoffs here in his first season as a Los Angeles Ram starter. Mark Andrews is here, which that would be great now that we lost our tight end. However, he's not interested in the team, understandably. There's literally only one person I'm interested in free agency, or at least somebody I'm interested in that's also interested in us, and it's Ivan Pace. We're going to go and sign him and make this linebacker group better. I wish we could have added more to the team in free agency, but unfortunately there just wasn't much talent, and the talent that was there was not interested in playing for the team. That's just how it goes. Let's into the draft. We're going to look at how good those receivers that we scouted actually were. If there's somebody really good that we could draft, we'll probably trade Cooper Kupp. If that's not the case, we're probably going to leave Cooper Kupp in the roster so that Bryce Young will be able to throw him the ball once he gets thrown into this lineup. So there's actually a top 5 talent receiver, which is beautiful. Let's see if our 1st round pick in the mock draft, if he's projected to fall before or after us, or what the case is, because we may not even need to trade Cooper Kupp. We could just draft this guy and then let him develop as a rookie and then trade Cooper Kupp maybe next season or something like that. So we have the 6th overall pick, and the receiver isn't projected to go until number 11. So if we somehow get robbed out of drafting this guy, I'll be pretty annoyed. There are a few round 1 talents also available on the board, but he's not projected to go till way after us, so no point in trading up. We're not going to trade back either. I'm not going to take that risk. We're going to get a pretty good receiver here in the 1st round. Do I trade Cooper Kupp and get an extra 1st round pick? Actually, let me check the draft board real quick. There's nobody really crazy in this 1st round that I want to move up to get or have extra picks to get. So we're going to keep Cooper Kupp on the roster. Bryce Young's going to have a great receiving core to throw to. We're going to draft this receiver here in the 1st round, and maybe we can get one of those corners in the early 2nd round. There were a lot of good corners on the board. But first off, we're taking my boy RJ Edwards, 22 years old, out of Kansas State, elite agility, elite excel, A lot of A's and B's. I'm not going to read all of them. We're going to go ahead and draft him. He looks pretty damn good. We got an A scouting report, and he has hidden dev, 92 speed, 95 excel, 6'1". He's a playmaker archetype. Hopefully he balls out, and hopefully Bryce Young's able to get him the ball. Best corner on the board as of right now is Jalen Forbes out of Miami. He has elite strength, a great excel, just not good coverages. I actually do think we're going to go with that pass rusher. That would be a really valuable position to add to this team right now. So we're going to try to see if Jonathan Thomas can maybe have a dev trait for us and hopefully be a long-term pass rusher. We got an A- and only normal dev. Forgot we have an extra second-round pick for Tre'Davious White, honestly. I didn't even think about that. I mean, there's another round 1 to 2 talent receiver we could take. I don't really know if I want to do that, honestly. We do still kind of need another tackle. Kenny Sheets is 22 out of Tennessee. Not the craziest physicals. Honestly, doesn't look good enough to use a second-round pick on. You know what? There's not much I like in this draft as of right now. We have a pretty high second-round pick. Let's see what we can turn this early second-round pick into. Okay, so the 49ers offered us a first-round pick for next year, but the Falcons are offering us a second and a third for next year. Now, the first-round pick obviously sounds more appealing, but the Niners are going to be really good. And it's going to be a really late first-round pick, or we could get a second and a third. What do we think we're going to do? I think we go for the first-rounder, honestly. Who knows? Maybe the Niners have a bad season. We get a good draft pick. We're going to trade this down. We're going to get an extra first-rounder for next year. I don't even know what to use our third-round pick on. I'm going to let the CPU have it. I know that's gay, but I don't know what to take. Why is my camera so high up? I genuinely don't know what to take. Hopefully the CPU takes someone good because nobody looks good to me in that draft class. I can't lie. We got a good receiver, and that's all that matters to me. And is our receiver, what is his overall? 80 overall RJ Edwards, hidden dev. Absolutely beautiful. Bryce Young has 3 amazing weapons to spread the ball around with. Let's fucking go. We drafted Jonathan Thomas. The CPU took a D tackle who actually looks pretty good. He's a 75 overall. Only normal dev, unfortunately. And then they also took a 70 overall corner here in the 5th round, so that was a bit of a sleeper pick. Only normal dev, but I'll definitely take it. They probably drafted better than I would have in that draft. And now it is time to throw Bryce Young into the lineup and see how he's going to do this season. And Bryce Young, with his morale, is only 1 overall lower than Matt Stafford. It is Bryce Young's season. He's getting thrown into the lineup. The CPU drafted a hidden dev receiver, so we now have 4 good receivers. How big is this guy? Is he a physical receiver? He is a physical receiver. The reason I was asking is because I was going to potentially throw him in at tight end. However, he's not big enough to play tight end. So I guess Montgomery, this random superstar tight end that we have, is going to be the starter. He has superstars, so maybe he can progress pretty good. We'll just have to find out. And it's really this defense that'll probably hold us back. I've been sitting here talking about our pass rush. Jared Verse is up to superstar, and we still have Byron Young. So I really don't know what I was talking about. But Acosta is actually going to start on the D-line as a rookie. Secondary is going to be the biggest focus for next season's draft. We have good safeties, but this corner group really needs some work. And then honestly, I think the team's going to be pretty much complete. Hopefully Jared Verse has a good year and, can progress even more. But I'm excited to see how Bryce Young's going to do in this offense. For the season goal, it is Bryce Young's first year as a starter. I'm only going to set it to 7 wins. I don't know if we'll get 7 wins, but if he does, I think that'd be a very promising year. That's more than Matt Stafford got last season. We're going to leave the scouts the same, and we really need to work on that secondary as of right now. And now we're just going to get to the midseason of year 1. We're going to see how Bryce Young's doing. If we're not successful, we're going to trade Cooper Kupp, and we're going to have a lot of draft picks to build around Bryce Young next year. So even if we don't have a great year, I think we're going to be just fine. We already have 2 first-rounders going into next season. So let's get to the midseason. Let's see how Bryce Young does. And we're 3-3 at the midseason. I will take that, honestly. Bryce Young's first season as a starter, we're 3-3. Throwing for 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, a decent amount of interceptions. If he can get those down, I actually think we're going to be just fine. Kyron Williams averaging 4 per carry, not bad whatsoever. Puka Nakua's leading receiver, already has 7 touchdowns so far on the year. RJ Edwards is balling as a rookie. Cooper Kupp's not going too crazy. It might be time to trade him. We have a new rookie receiver as well. We got 2. The CPU drafted us 1 with hidden dev. O-line's not playing terrible. Jeff Roberts could be playing better, but we're not letting Bryce Young get absolutely destroyed back there. And then for defense, as of right now, I mainly just care about the pass rush. Braden Fisk is balling out, Jared Verse, and Byron Young. Looks like we're getting a decent amount of sacks on defense, so I will definitely take that. Let's check these re-signings real quick. We have $217 million. We re-signed Puka Nacua, Kobe Turner, Steve Avila, Kevin Dotson, Byron Young, Cooper Kupp, Jonah Jackson, and Bryce Young. First things first, we're going to trade Bryce Young. I almost said trade Bryce Young. We're going to trade Cooper Kupp. It does suck we had to do it now that he's such a low overall because we're not going to get as much out of him as we originally would have. But hopefully we can still get a pretty decent pick out of him. So we turned Cooper Kupp a 4th and a 5th into the Broncos' 2nd and 3rd round pick this season. So we're going to have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 3rd round pick. That's absolutely beautiful. We got a lot of value out of him right there. First up, let's re-sign Puka Nacua. You know we want to bring him back. We're going to give him a 4-year, $80 million deal, which he does take. He's going to be here for hopefully the rest of the video. Got to bring back Kobe Turner as well. We'll give him 3 years, $48 million. He resigns. Steve Avila, we need as much help on the O-line as we can get right now. I'm going to give him 3 years, try to keep him around a little bit longer. 3 years, $24 million. Whatever, bro. He doesn't take it. Kevin Dotson, same thing. We're going to bring him back as well. 3 years, 48. He also doesn't re-sign. Nobody wants to re-sign on the O-line. That's great. Byron Young, we're going to re-sign him. Don't really have room to be losing pass rushers right now. We're going to have him 3 years, $27 million, which he does take. Omar Sprates, we can afford to lose. Jonah Jackson, I mean, neither of our other guards re-signed, but I want both of them back more, so we're not going to re-sign Jonah Jackson. Now we have to re-sign Bryce Young, and we're going to have to overpay so much because he's not interested in the team. I guess let's just try 6 years, 200. Dude, this is just not worth it, bro. Like, but if I wait till the end of the season, there's a chance I'm not re-signing him now. I can't give him that much money. Here's the thing. We didn't say he has to stay on the Rams. If he goes somewhere else, we'll track him over there. We're going to try to bring him back at the end of the season. Even if it's free agency, I don't think teams will be that interested. But as of right now, I'm not going to pay him $200 million. That's just stupid, and Madden is so whatever. But we are going to sim 1 week ahead so that I can re-sign Avila and Kevin Dotson. But before we do that, let's set our scouting national focus. We're probably going to set it to corner, because that's probably what we could use most on the team, and it's a strength of the class, thank God, and we have a bunch of draft picks, so we'll probably be able to draft pretty much whatever corner we want. So let's go ahead and sim 1 week into the future. Let's re-sign our guards, and I don't know, Bryce Young can have to play pretty damn good for me to give him that contract. He does get another win here. Dude, there's honestly a chance that we're better off signing him now, because if he does really good this year, he's probably going to ask for even more money. Got back Avila, by the way. We're going to try to get back Kevin Dotson as well. We got both of them. Why is Bryce Young not interested? We're giving him a chance to, like, actually have an NFL career, and he's not interested in playing in the team. Shout out Madden. 6 years, $200 million. He doesn't take it. Like, you're not even worth that much, and you're declining that. That's just such bullshit. Like, I want to get to the end of the year and tag him, but a tag for a quarterback is going to be like $70 million or something crazy. So we're going to have to see what we want to do with Bryce Young. I don't know. If he hits the market, I think we might be able to get him for cheaper, but I'm just scared we're going to lose him. But for right now, let's get to the end of this season and let's see how it finishes out. And in Bryce Young's first season as a starter, he goes 10-7, wins the division, and gets us into the playoffs. He finished 4th in the NFL in passing yards with 4,500, threw 36 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. He had a great second half of the year with a 70% completion percentage. Kyron Williams balled out, averaging 4.3 per carry and got 13 touchdowns. Puka Nacua with almost 1,400 yards and 19 touchdowns. RJ Edwards balled out as a rookie, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. This random tight end is balling out. He'll probably be our tight end for the future, which is great to see. Honestly, for Madden, these O-line numbers are great. They're actually protecting Bryce Young pretty good. Ivan Pace led the team in tackles with 102, 10 TFLs out of Acosta, 9 out of Byron Young, and 8 out of Braden Fisk. 12.5 sacks out of Jared Verse. That is absolutely great. 8.5 out of Braden Fisk, 6.5 out of Byron Young, and 4 out of Kobe Turner. 4 picks out of Cam Curl, 3 out of Lenore, 3 out of Johnson, and 2 out of Pace, 2 out of Sprates, and 1 out of Kinjins. Great year out of Bryce Young and great year out of the whole team. Jalen Hurts wins MVP, and would you look at that? Bryce Young goes from not being a starter to getting an MVP vote. Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC also goes to Jalen Hurts. We came in 4th with Puka Nacua. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson. I actually expected Jared Verse to be somewhere on here, but he's not. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to RJ Edwards. No surprise, he balled out. And Malachi Rivers down here in 8th place. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jason Kearse for the Packers, and we came in 6th with Dakota Acosta. We're in the playoffs. This is not what I was expecting whatsoever. Bryce Young is definitely going to get paid, but hey, I'd rather have to pay him a lot for him playing good than pay him a lot for him not playing good. We're taking on the Cowboys in the wild card round. Probably a losable game. We'll probably end up losing, but we'll go in and sim past, get to the divisional. Maybe we can get a lucky win here over Dallas. We do have home field advantage, but their team is a lot better. And we beat the Cowboys. We just got a playoff win with Bryce Young. You can't see it because my face cam's on the way. We won by a field goal, 24-21. Taking on the Bears in the divisional round. That's interesting. Looks like Caleb's balling out. He's up to an 89 overall at this point. I feel like if we could beat the Cowboys, we could definitely beat the Bears. Let's get to the NFC Championship. Maybe we can get another lucky win here. And no, we do unfortunately lose to the Bears, but I think that's fair enough. I don't even know if we deserve to win the first game. We lost by 10 points to the Bears in the divisional round. Hey, Bryce Young got a playoff win. He's showing promise. That's about all that matters to me right now. Hopefully he's at least a little interested in playing for the team now, considering he won a playoff game and, you know, we gave him a chance to revive his career. Like, you know, Madden, thank you for, like, making it to where I can trade for a quarterback, sit him for a year so he can learn and then revive his career to where he's getting a playoff win. Yeah, he's not interested in playing for the team. Just thank you, Madden, because I'm sure if Bryce Young went to the Rams, learned from Sean McVay, learned from Matt Stafford, then got a playoff win, he wouldn't be interested in the team. So shout out, Madden. Anyways, we've got a Texans, Eagles Super Bowl this year. Jalen Hurts won MVP and Super Bowl MVP. That's insane. However, we did win Offensive Rookie of the Year for the whole league. I will definitely take that. Bryce Young might be up to star dev. He had a pretty damn good year. I feel like he deserves it. He did not get a dev up. He is still normal dev. But Puka Nacua goes up to X Factor. Edwards is superstar. Offense is actually starting to look beautiful. I mean, obviously, already did look beautiful, but Bryce Young has a great amount of weapons on offense to work with. Defense is looking pretty good, too. I expected Acosta to get a dev up, but I guess not. We are going to have to replace Johnson pretty soon at safety. He's already up to 31 years old and down to a 75 overall. Safety's pretty replaceable in Madden, though. And then if we can get some corners in the draft or maybe trade for somebody, this team's going to be really good. And I think we could honestly make a push next year, assuming we can re-sign Bryce Young. We have the 5th year for Jared Verse. He's not interested in the team, so I'm not going to take any risks, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Sprate's had a decent year. Don't think we really need to re-sign him. Jonah Jackson, we actually do need to bring back. He's starting on the O-line. 1 year, $15 million. He's going to test out free agency because why would somebody who's interested in the team accept an offer that he wants? Bryce Young's still not interested, Madden. Please fix your game, dog. Like, oh my God, dude. You just got a playoff win because we gave you a chance to revive your career. We have to give him 7 years, $260 million. And he doesn't even take it. $62 million for a tag. I mean, we'll still have over $100 million left if we do this. I don't have a choice. I'm not going to let Bryce Young hit the market because he's not interested. So if any team gives him any decent offer, he's going to go somewhere else. So let's get into free agency. Maybe there'll be a nice like corner or something here. I'd be down to sign a veteran now that we have a good enough roster that's winning playoff game. Maybe there's a good safety and we could just replace Johnson now. That would be best case scenario. Ooh, Frank Ragnow. Now I wish we didn't re-sign Avila. That would be a really good signing. Tyler Smith's also here, but he's not interested in the team. We could use Laramie Tunzel, but he's honestly really bad in this game, and he wants $27 million a year. I don't think I want to do that. It's mainly just O linemen left. We could go with Tyrann Mathieu for kind of like a plug-in for Johnson right now until we do get somebody better. We could also go for George Karlaftis, but he's not, like, nobody's interested in the team that I want. That's just great. So we actually are able to get into Karlaftis top offer, but he's expensive and we don't really need him, so we're not going to send that through. We're going to try to get DeForest Buckner for a year. We're also going to try to get Kenneth Murray, finish out the linebacker group. Let's send these through. I do think we'll get both of them. DeForest Buckner is not going to be a long-term guy or anything, but he's going to be better than the rookie we have in right now, and, you know, hopefully he can help us make a playoff push next year. Let's get to the draft. We have 3 first-rounders this year. We could potentially trade one. We're definitely going to use one to get a corner. Maybe we trade up on the board. We have a lot of draft picks going into this draft, and there were some nasty corners in this draft class. This guy was projected to go with the top 5, and he's a UDFA talent. That's very interesting. It looks like there's one top 5 talent corner on the board. He's projected to go at number 2. It might be hard to get all the way up there. I definitely want to see if it's possible because Jalen Berry looks like a dog. 22 years old, out of Wake Forest. Great strength, great speed, good excel, elite agility, A-man, A-press, B-zone. Yeah, I definitely want to see what we can do to get up there. 4 draft picks. We have the 15th overall pick, the 26th, and then we also have, I thought we had 3. Oh no, we didn't get a first round out of Cooper Kupp. I forgot. I do think we could potentially get up to number 2. If it takes too much, we're just going to try to get one of those round 1. Or actually, now that I think about it, why don't I just look at those round 1 talent corners, see if any of them compare at all? Like, I mean, this round 1 talent projected to go at number 7 and number 6 both look good. So if we could just go up to number 6 instead, I mean, I'd be okay with that. Damn, dude, I was scared they weren't going to accept it. We gave up our 2 late first rounders for the 6th overall pick in the first round. We also got the 6th overall pick in the second round. So now we have 3 second rounders to kind of fill up whatever we want after we get past the first round. But we're definitely going to get a good corner here. So let's get into the draft, see who's available, and we'll look between the corners and see who's better. We're not going to get the top 5 talent. I guess it would have been easier to get up to number 2 than I thought because getting up to number 6 was very easy. Before corners, there's like a million round 1 talents. There's 2 21-year-olds. I definitely want to go with one of them. First off is a Brian Givens, 21 years old, out of Texas. Elite speed, solid excel, good strength. A-man coverage, B-press, A-zone coverage. Ooh, he looks pretty damn good. So as of right now, Givens is the guy. But I do want to make sure to take a look at Quincy Massey as well. He's also round 1 talent, only 21 years old, out of Central Michigan. Not as good as physicals. Oh my God, how is that guy round 1 talent? We're definitely going to be going with Brian Givens. He looks like a dog. Welcome to the Rams, Brian Givens. We got an A scouting report. Hidden dev, 96 speed and 90 excel. That's a dog. Now we have 3 second round picks. What do we want to do with these? Probably take a safety with one of them. And other than that, I don't even know. Because the O-line doesn't look great, but honestly, ooh, wait. We need a guard. I didn't realize that. So we'll draft a guard. Tight end's fine. Barden's been playing good on the O-line. And then we could use a safety. See, if I would have known we needed a guard, I would have gone for one of the guards in free agency. But we're going to draft a guard. Barden's been playing fine on the O-line. So other than guard, we'll draft one of those. But everything else is fine. And then on defense, we got a corner. I guess apparently we could use another one. And we need a safety as well. So I was kind of thinking about trading one of these picks. I mean, maybe we trade one for a free safety and then use the other 2 on a corner and a guard. I don't know. What free safety could we get with this high of a second round pick? That's the real question. I don't think there's a free safety worth trading for. We could always just, you know, look and see if there's somebody worth drafting, like a normal person. It does look like there's some pretty good safeties on the board. However, there is a round 1 talent. There's 2 round 1 talent corners, both left on the board. So let's take a look at both of these guys. Let's just go back-to-back corner here. Brandon Hartwell's 22 out of Michigan State. Elite speed. Ooh, that's tempting. B-man, B press, B zone, A block shedding, A catching. Brandon Hartwell looks like a dog. And then Frank Stevenson's also around 1 talent, 22 out of Tennessee. Not as good of physicals, not as good of skills. So we're definitely going to go with the first guy. Brandon Hartwell going back-to-back corner. Can you also have hidden dev for us and complete out this corner group, please? And he has hidden dev, 95 speed, 91 excel. 2 rookie corners that are probably both going to be starters going into the season. Let's get a guard here in the mid-second round, and then we'll see if we could potentially get a safety with that last pick. Maybe not. We'll just have to see. But we definitely need to address the offensive line real quick. Okay, so all the guards that were good were projected to go in like the 3rd to 4th round, and there were really no safeties I'm interested in. So we had an extra 3rd round pick as well, so we're going to trade one of our 2nds and one of our 3rds, and we're going to get Marcus Williams from the Ravens. It's going to make our defense look a lot better, and then we'll use this 2nd round pick here on a guard. This is definitely what I want to go with, though. Juan Howard, 22 years old, out of Notre Dame. Elite strength, elite agility, elite change of direction, great excel. Run block power is a little scary. Everything else looks pretty good, so we're going to go with Juan Howard. He's probably going to start on the O-line his first year on the team. B+, excellent pick. Hidden dev at 92 strength. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I know I've done a lot of trading this video. However, I think I'm probably going to trade this 3rd round pick, just try to get some extra picks for next season, just in case we need them, because I don't know what to draft right now. And the Saints want to give us a 3rd and 4th for next year. I will gladly accept that. The more picks we can roll over to next season, you know, the better we'll be off next year. Let's get to the end of the draft, have the CPU take over. I think we just made the team a lot better, honestly. So I'm excited for this season. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully Bryce Young is actually interested in re-signing this season, so I don't have to offer him $200 million for 7 years and he declines it. You know, that'd be pretty cool. Thank you, Madden, for, you know, just being the worst game ever. Now, how are these 2 corners that we drafted? 80 overall. So I'm glad we didn't trade up for the top 5 talent. However, we still did probably give up too much. But Brian Given's an 80 overall. We got a 78 as well. Juan Howard's only a 72. Not great, but he's going to be a starter anyways. And we got Marcus Williams out of that draft as well. We just made the team look a whole lot better. We went 10-7 last year, and the team got so much better. So if there's any reason for us to miss the playoffs, oh, wait, it doesn't exist. So here's a roster going into this season. We obviously have Bryce Young, Kyron Williams still, Puka Nacua, our new beautiful receiving core, which is super young. We added to the O-line in the draft. Offense looks good, and then this defense looks 100 times better. Now, we still have Cam Curl, added Marcus Williams, added 2 rookie corners to the secondary, got DeForest Buckner. In the offseason and free agency, the team looks really damn good. For the season goal, I'm going to set it to make the playoffs. We made the playoffs last year. We got better as a team. There's no reason we shouldn't once again this season. For scouts, I don't even know what I want to scout. I feel like most of our team is kind of completed with younger players. D-tackle is probably one of the weaker spots, and the O-line. So let's just go with Cindy Seller, interior O-line and D-tackle. Fuck it, because we got DeForest Buckner, but he's probably only going to be here like a year. And then our younger guy we have at D-tackle is normal dev, so he's not going to progress that crazy. So let's go ahead and get to the midseason. I think we could have like 4 or 5 wins here at the midseason, honestly. It's just going to come down to if Bryce Young can play as good as he did last season. Let's just get to the midseason. Let's see what happens. We're 2-5. Sick. Thank you, Madden. Don't tell me it's Bryce Young, though. Like, Bryce Young played so good last season, and he's playing like shit now, dog. Oh my god, I hate this game. Kyron Williams is playing really good. Puka Nacua is playing really good. Is it the O-line, maybe? Jeff Roberts isn't playing great. Everybody else is playing pretty good. Is the pass rush doing good? Yeah, we have 4.5 sacks out of Kobe Turner, 4 to DeForest Buckner, 3.5 out of Fisk. Jared Verse isn't doing too much, but I mean, the rest of the defense is playing great. It's honestly just Bryce Young now. So shout out Bryce Young, do your homework on Bryce Young, and now he's going to ask for $800 million, which I just can't give him. I want to bring back Braden Fisk. He's not interested. Will he take 3 years, $54 million? He does, thank God. Still have $100 million to work with. Blake Corum could be good to hold on to. I'd rather not give him to another team, so we're going to try to bring him back for 3 years, $15 million, which he actually does take. Did not expect him to take that. Bryce Young is still not interested in the team, but look how much less, you know, this offer is. So we're going to give him a very player-friendly deal. We're going to up the money quite a bit because this is very affordable for a quarterback, and I would like to keep him on the team. 5 years, $100 million. Will you please take this, Bryce Young? Thank you. Remember whenever he didn't take 7 years, $200 million last year, and now he's settling for 5? It's whatever. Anyways, don't think we have too many important names here. We're not going to re-sign John Johnson or DeForest Buckner right now. We'll consider doing that at the end of the season if we want to bring them back, but probably not. So Bryce Young, you've been playing like shit. We re-signed you anyway, so please prove us right. For the scouting national focus, I'm hoping D-tackle will be a strength of the class. It is not. However, interior O-line is a bunch of the weaknesses, so we're going to go with D-tackle anyways, try to find a stud in the draft this year. Bryce Young, can you get your shit together, please? That'd be cool. I'm still using the Rams offensive playbook just because Bryce Young played so good in it last season. If it continues to go like this, I'll switch to a different offensive playbook. We'll see what we want to do there. But yeah, for right now, let's just get to the end of the season. Hopefully we can finish out stronger than 2-5. And after starting off 2-5, we finished 9-8 and won the division. Not the craziest record, but I will definitely take that with how it was looking at the start of the season. Please tell me Bryce Young dealt with the turnovers in the second half of the year. Not really, but I mean, what was he, 11-9? So he went 21-11. That's still better. We need him to get those turnovers down. Maybe we change the playbook next year. We'll see what we want to do there. Kyron Williams balled out 1,000 yards, averaged 4.5 per carry. Puka Nacua with another crazy season, 1,500 yards, 16 touchdowns. RJ Edwards continues to ball out. Malachi Rivers did good as well. O-line was pretty good outside of Jeff Roberts. Might have to look into replacing him this year. He's trying to get Bryce Young killed. Ivan Pace led the team in tackles with 120, 13 TFLs out of Buckner, 12 out of Jared Verse, 11 out of Braden Fisk, 9.5 sacks out of Kobe Turner. That's absolutely beautiful. 9 out of Buckner, 7.5 out of Fisk, 4.5 out of Jared Verse, and 5 picks out of Brian Givens as a rookie. Defensive Rookie of the Year potential. 2 out of Brandon Hartwell, 2 out of Cameron Curl, 2 out of Lenore, 2 out of Marcus Williams. MVP this season goes to Patrick Mahomes, no Rams. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Jalen Hurts, Puka Nacua at number 3. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson, no Rams. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Derek Bayer for the Cardinals. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Brian Givens. Let's fucking go. That's huge. So he's going to get a dev up, assuming he's not already X Factor. But for now, we have a wildcard game to get into against a division rival, the San Francisco 49ers. We have home field advantage. They're 1 overall higher than us, so this should be a pretty close game. It really could go either way. If we lose, I won't be too upset, but the Niners honestly aren't that good in franchise, so I think we could win this game, which we do. We won 21-7. We kind of whooped them, so maybe we can make a run here. We need Bryce Young to lock in. Going against the Commanders in the divisional round, they're only an 82 overall team. We should definitely win this game, if I'm being honest. They did go 11-6, but we are 6 overalls higher than them. So I'd appreciate if Madden would factor that into the game. Thank you. And we're in the NFC Championship with Bryce Young after beating the Commanders in the divisional round. We won 28-14, so that is 2 games that we've won by 2 touchdowns in the playoffs. And the Bears only beat the Eagles by 1 point. So we're coming into this game hot. They're not coming in as hot, but they are only 1 overall lower than us. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Let's sim to the Super Bowl. Is there a chance we just made the Super Bowl with Bryce Young in his second year as a starter for the Rams? And we are in the fucking Super Bowl. Holy shit. And we won by 18 points. We haven't lost a playoff game by less than 2 possessions yet. Oh my God. We won by 18 points. Bryce Young's him. Dude, I thought this was going to be so hard. I've actually been getting very, very lucky this video. Did Bryce Young go up to star dev? No, he didn't. He didn't have a very good year. I'm not surprised. Doesn't look like we got any dev ups on the offense. I don't know why Kyron Williams hasn't gone up to X Factor. I guess he hasn't had like an insane season yet. And Givens did go up to Superstar, 4 winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Other than that, I don't think we got any other dev ups on the team. But we signed players like Marcus Williams and DeForest Buckner to push us over the edge to get this playoff push. And it worked out, and we're in the Super Bowl. We're going to hop in and play a drive of this Super Bowl, see if we can beat the Baltimore Ravens. If we can win the Super Bowl, that could be the end of the video, because I would say that's considered saving Bryce Young's career if, he won a Super Bowl. Holy shit. Let's get going and play a drive. It's on all Madden simulation. Playing against the Ravens, we're going to need the defense to step up against this Ravens offense, and they get a stop to open the game. Let's hop in and see if we can get a touchdown here on this drive. We're going to start off with the ball on the ground because I am a little bit scared. Bryce Young's wearing number 2. That's actually a little bit tough. Running against this team is going to be a little bit hard, but let's see if Kyron Williams can get going. I will definitely take 6 yards on the opening carry. Honestly, I'm high-key going to keep it on the ground for this play as well. This D-line is terrifying. Is that Vita Vea? I sure hope not, but they also have Matabuike, of course. Can I fit in there? Nope, we only got 2 yards. It's now 3rd and 2. Might have to end up throwing the ball here. Let's come out in empty. Let's see if we can find somebody. Edwards is going to be my first read. Hopefully, if he's not open, Nacua can be. Hey, I just pressed B to throw it, and it didn't let me, and I had to press it again. So thank God it stayed open, because I would have been really upset if that wasn't the case. Do we try to go deep here? Do we try to hit Puka Nacua on this post? If not, Edwards could be open across the field on the left side. Let's see if we can get anything going on this play action. I'm going to throw it to Edwards. He's there. Bryce Young doesn't have the strongest arm, but he does get it to him on the left side of the field. Let's fucking go. That's absolutely beautiful. The right side of the field looks pretty open here. If we could get a block on that DB on the right side, I think we could take this pretty far. Just get to him. Did I just get a holding? I put it on simulation just because I don't care to change it to competitive, because I don't know if it adjusts like the stats whenever you mess with that for simulation. So I leave it on simulation, but then when you leave it on simulation, there's fucking penalties, which is just so obnoxious. We're going to come out and empty again. We're going to see if we can make a good read here. This kind of looks like it could be man coverage. If that's the case, I think Puka Nacua quick is just going to be the read, and it looks like, oh! So it was man coverage, however, there was a linebacker in a zone in the middle of the field, and I might have just thrown the Super Bowl away. So, my bad. It looks like the Ravens get down the field, get a touchdown. Let's see if the CPU can do better than me. No, that looks like they also turned the ball over. But now they get down the field, they get a touchdown to cut the lead to 3, and we get a stop on defense. Get a stop and a turnover. We're in the red zone. We tie it up 10-10, and we get another stop. Get down the field, get a field goal to take a 3-point lead, and we get the ball to open the second half. Don't get anything going. Ravens have a very long drive to get down with a touchdown, go up 17-13. Ravens are trying to walk away with it here. I'm going to hop in and play again. I can't let us lose this Super Bowl. Like, I can't, especially after I threw an interception. Like, I would never be able to forgive myself. We're going to run some bench here. Puka Nacua is going to be my first read. It looks like he's kind of there. It wasn't the best throw by Bryce Young, but Puka Nacua has some hands. Okay, so I came out an empty, but I don't really like this look. So I'm going to try to change to a formation where I can run inside a zone out of. Okay, I wanted it to be shotgun, but whatever. This should work. Can I flip it to the left side? That'd be great. All right, perfect. I think we could get some good yards on this. Oh, yeah. Go, Kyron. Oh! Ski! Beautiful run by Kyron Williams. We needed that right now. 12 rushes, 61 yards. Hasn't had the craziest game, but we got to get him going. Edwards is pressed on the left side. If that safety floats to the right side of this field, Edwards might be the read, honestly. He does not. We're going to roll out with Bryce Young. We're going to hit Kyron Williams, who's wide open. Get a juke inside, and we're not able to get past him, but we are slowly moving down the field. If we could tie this ball game up, that would be beautiful, especially if our defense could get a stop once we do. Don't really know what side of I kind of want to run this up the middle instead. I think this could be pretty free here. And what a good block there from the interior. Oh my God, we just got lit up by Roquan Smith, but it's okay because we are getting in the end zone here. I'm not going to throw another interception. I promise you that. That is the last thing that's going to happen. As I want, we have a 3rd and goal from the 10. If we don't get it here, we might have to settle for a field goal. I'm going to try to hit Nacua quick. That's probably going to be the best read, and it's not. I might have just thrown another pick. Okay, I'm literally trying my best to sell. So sorry, Bryce Young. Let me just kick a field goal. Hopefully defense can get a stop. If we lose this, it's literally all my fault, and I'm going to feel really bad. So hopefully defense can get a stop here. Let's continue to the next moment. Let's see if defense can get a stop, and they don't, but it's a 7-point game. I do not trust the CPU, as even though I haven't been playing very good, I don't trust the CPU to make this drive. We're going to hit a play action. We're going to try to hit Nacua deep. See if we can take this game to overtime here. Nacua does look... Oh, my God. Can I get some fucking time? They rushed 4, and I didn't get any time to throw that. That's such baloney. Like, normally when I hop in and play, it is not this hard. It's normally actually pretty easy. I don't want to run this play again. I don't know what to do. Oh, my God. I'm struggling. Looks like they're in man coverage. Oh, my God. Okay, you mean to tell me Bryce Young is on the run and he can't make a throw because... Dude, I just sold. I sold the Super Bowl. This is depressing. I shouldn't have played. I should have just let the CPU... Can I hit this post, maybe? It's like my only hopes. Nope, and we just lost the Super Bowl, all because of me. You know, every single time I've hopped in this year in Madden, it has been so easy. I should have stuck to the ground there. I threw an interception, which was my fault. And then I played 3 drives, and all I got was a field goal. Oh, my God. That's all my fault. Now I'm depressed because I feel like we did save Bryce Young's career, but I don't feel like I earned to end the video because I didn't win the Super Bowl. And dude, the thing is, if I didn't step in and play those drives, we probably could have won. I think I literally lost us that Super Bowl. That's not good. DeForest Buckner retires. Sorry we couldn't get you the ring before you go. We're going to try to get Bryce Young a Super Bowl. We'll see what happens. This might be a long video, but I don't care. Maybe you guys like the long videos. Let's get into the re-signing period. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bryce Young. Fuck. Fuck, dude, I'm so sad. Why did I have to sell? Whatever. Jeff Roberts will pick up his 5th year. Actually, hasn't he been playing pretty terrible? Yeah, he allowed 14 sacks. We are not going to pick up his 5th year option. Nobody really that we need to re-sign here, honestly. We're going to save all this money for free agency so we can try to add to this roster, hopefully make another Super Bowl. We'll just have to see. I don't know. I feel so bad for Bryce Young. Obviously, this is a video game, so I don't really actually feel bad for him. But like, I feel bad for y'all, honestly, because that was supposed to be the Super Bowl, and I lost it. Creed Humphrey, that could be an interesting signing. We do have Steve Avila, but I mean, if we can make the O-line better, why not try? So we're just going to try to completely beef up this offensive line in this free agency, pretty much. Our offensive line's pretty good, but if we can make it even better, you know, that could never hurt. We're going to try to get Creed Humphrey. We're going to try to get Sua Matea as well. I should probably give him a slightly better offer, honestly, because I don't want the Falcons to get him. We need help on the O-line right now after how our left tackle played last year. We're also going to go for Kenny Clark. He's going to be our kind of DeForest Buckner player for this season, and we're going to go for Brandon Aubrey because we lost our kicker. Let's send these offers through. I hope we get most of these guys. We got Creed Humphrey, Kenny Clark, and Brandon Aubrey. I honestly wanted Sua Matea more than Creed Humphrey, but that's just how it goes. We have a first-round pick. We honestly may end up trading it. That might be the case here. We're in a win-now situation. I don't really see what we could use a first-round pick on in this draft that's going to help us, especially now that we got Kenny Clark and replaced DeForest Buckner with another veteran that could, you know, clog up the middle. I'm going to make up for losing that Super Bowl, I promise you. So we are going to unfortunately have to start Roberts at tackle once again. I mean, Vila lost a starting job for literally no reason. He played fine, but I mean, if I can add a 98 overall center, why would I not? So if we do end up drafting, I guess tackle wouldn't be a bad position, but other than that, I really don't know what I want to trade this first round pick for. The pass rush wasn't insane last year, but it wasn't bad enough to like trade for somebody. Like I don't even know what to add. Do we trade for a tackle? The problem is if we trade for a tackle, when you have a high overall tackle, they're never good, like ever. So we're just going to trade a 1, a 3, and a 4 for Zach Tom. We're going to really beef up this offensive line. I'm sure it's not going to matter. We have draft picks to use, so I guess we'll fucking use them. There's around 2 to 3 talent here. I mean, we may as well go with him. He's a D tackle. I mean, we have Kenny Clark, but we're not going to have him forever. So Dakota Woods is who we're going to be drafting. He has hidden dev. Pretty good pick. I'm going to let the CPU have the rest of the picks. I mean, dude, our team is so good. The thing that sucks is, like, no matter how good your team is, you're never guaranteed to make the Super Bowl because this is Madden or obviously, like, you're not guaranteed to make the Super Bowl in real life either, but Madden is just so bad. Like, you lose so many playoff games that you should win. And the chances of us making another Super Bowl just aren't very likely, and I sold Bryce Young's potential only chance. And I'm kind of depressed. The tackle we got's pretty good. They also drafted a right outside linebacker as well. Setting the season goal to win the Super Bowl because, you know, that's what we need to happen. But you're going to leave the scouts the same, and we're going to get straight to the end of this season. I'm going to stop at the midseason to make any re-signings I need to in case we go another year. But I'm going to see y'all at the midseason. God, hopefully we're in the playoffs at least. And we fortunately finished the season at 12-5. Won the division again. I don't think Bryce Young has lost the division since he's been the starter. 4,200 passing yards for Bryce Young. His best season so far for sure. 34 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. Kyron Williams, average 4.2 per carry, got to 1,000 yards once again. Puka Nacua, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. RJ Edwards, 2 yards short of 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. Malachi Rivers with 845 yards. And and Jeff Roberts only allowed 5 sacks this year. So maybe, you know, Bryce Young grew on him, I guess. Defensively, Ivan Pace led the team in tackles again. At 10 TFLs out of Kobe Turner, 9 out of Jared Verse, 9 out of Braden Fisk. And look at all these sacks. 12.5 out of Kobe Turner, 12.5 out of Braden Fisk, and 11.5 out of Jared Verse. 4 picks out of Hartwell, 3 out of Pace, 1 out of Curl, Murray, Givens, and Lenore. MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. Bryce Young nowhere up here, surprisingly enough. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Jalen Hurts. We came in 2nd place with Puka Nacua. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Dalton Williams for the Giants. We came in 5th with Jared Verse, 7th with Kobe Turner, and 9th with Braden Fisk. And we obviously didn't win either of the Rookie of the Years. Taking on the Vikings in the wild card round, they only went 8-9. They have an 85 overall team, so this seems like the kind of game that Madden would make us lose. But let's just sim to the divisional round. Let's see if we can just win, please. And we do win, taking on the 9-8 Falcons in the divisional round. We won by 11 over the Vikings, so starting off pretty good so far in the playoffs here. Hopefully we can beat the Falcons in the divisional, make it to 2 straight NFC championships. I really want Bryce Young to get his 2nd chance at a Super Bowl. Ooh, okay. We're in the NFC championship. We're taking on the 13-4 Eagles. We have a 90 overall team, dude. We won by 14 points, but the Eagles won 35-7 in their divisional match. We actually have a weekly award from the divisional game. Looks like Bryce Young had a good game, 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's get into this NFC championship against the 13-4 Eagles. We are a higher overall team, but they should have home field advantage. God, I want Bryce Young to have a 2nd chance so bad. I'm not going to sell you this one, Bryce Young. Just make it. I promise we'll get you there. Please, please. I don't think I've, like, made back-to-back Super Bowls in, like, any of my rebuilds so far. So, holy shit, we made it back-to-back. Did Bryce Young finally get a dev up? Did he go up to star dev? He had a great year. He's in the Super Bowl once again. Dog, they are robbing my boy Bryce Young. You know how many times I get dev ups for players that don't deserve it when I make the Super Bowl? He just threw for 34 touchdowns and only 9 picks and made the Super Bowl, and you're not going to give him star dev. That's crazy work. I don't think we got a single dev up that year, but, you know, the team looks great. Let's hop into this Super Bowl. I'm going to try to not play a drive if I don't need to, try to learn my lesson. We have 3 overalls on the Bills. They only went 9-8. Let's hop into this Super Bowl. Oh, come on. I hope that I don't have to play a drive because I don't feel like losing us another Super Bowl. I want Bryce Young to just... Dude, like, imagine how sick this would be. This has been so much easier than I thought it was. Bryce Young's really good in franchise, by the way. I think I used him in another video. But we get the ball to open the Super Bowl. We get down the field. We get a touchdown to go up 7-0. The Bills quickly match us to tie it up at 7. We get down the field with a field goal, take a 3-point lead, and we get a turnover on defense. We also turn the ball over. Bills get a touchdown to go up by 4. We get down the field to take a field goal lead with a chance to score again in the first half, which we don't. It looks like we turn the ball over again. We have 30 seconds left in the first half. We have Brandon Aubrey. I don't know why we didn't kick a field goal there. Bills tied up at 17. We can't answer. We get a stop on defense, though. We can't answer once again. Bills get down the field and get a touchdown. I got to learn my lesson and let the CPU have it. Please, Bryce Young gets down the field. Okay, this is one I'm comfortable. I want to do this one. I want to do it. I'm not gonna turn the ball over. I'm gonna get us in field goal range, and I'm gonna win this game. All right, just make the right read. Just don't throw any interceptions. Let's not talk about that. You know what? We have enough time that I think we can afford to run the ball here. Do I want to? Edwards is in press coverage. Oh, tell me that safety floats away from it. He didn't, but Edwards is open anyway. Let's go. Also, in this year's Madden, do not run no huddle. Just pick your play, because watch. If I would run no huddle, it would have taken like 16 seconds off the clock. Look at that. No time off the clock. Are you kidding me, Madden? All we need is a field goal. I'm comfortable running the ball here. We're going to give Kyren Williams an inside zone, some good blocks, and that's close to field goal range. Honestly, I'm going to let this clock chew because I don't want to leave the Bills any time here after we kick this field goal. I feel like we got Brandon Aubrey. We are in field goal range already. Let's just keep this on the ground. Okay, and we did not pick up the first down, so that's actually a little bad. But I do want to use a little bit of this clock. The target's the 47-yard line. We're on the 43. I would like to make the field goal easier for Brandon Aubrey, so if we could pick up this first down, get some extra yards for him, that'd be great. So let's see if we can pick this up with Kyren Williams. Just get the first down. We got the first down. That's perfect. The Bills are not using any timeouts. I actually am going to use one because I would like to be able to, not worry about the clock right now. Get a couple extra yards, try to keep the ball in the middle of the field, make it a chip shot for Brandon Aubrey so we can win this game. I'll be holding RB the entire time because if I were to fumble and lose Bryce Young another Super Bowl, I can never forgive myself. Just stay in the middle of the field, hold RB, and don't fumble. That's all that matters. Would you look at that? I think one more run, then we take the clock down, call a timeout, let Brandon Aubrey come out and win us this Super Bowl. Give it to Kyren Williams up the middle. Get as many yards as I can. I'm just going to go down. Okay, he did not go down like I told him to, but we're going to let this clock run down to about 3 seconds. We're going to call a timeout, and Brandon Aubrey's going to come out and win Bryce Young his first ever Super Bowl championship. Oh, my God. Super Bowl championship? I don't think that's the right terminology. Take the timeout here. If they ice me, I might miss. No, I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss. Oh, my God, I'm going to miss it. This new kicking meter's so hard because I always time it, like, to the top so that it fucks. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, did I make it? Brandon Aubrey! We are the champions, my friend. We'll keep on fighting till the end. Look at that. Oh my God. Wait, tell me Bryce Young won Super Bowl MVP. How did he play? 3 tuds, 390 yards, and 84 completion percentage. I think we just saved Bryce Young's career. I think we successfully did it. Dude, I thought this video was going to be terrible. This is what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to trade him to the Rams. He was never going to be good, and I was going to have to sit here and try to save his career until he retired and then just have the worst video of all time. But no, Bryce Young proved everybody wrong. It was the Panthers all along. All he needed was McVay and Stafford to teach him up a little bit. He made it to 2 straight Super Bowls, is a Super Bowl champion, and potentially a Super Bowl MVP. Is he the Super Bowl MVP? Like, for how our stats were for each player, I don't know how we had, like, our best year so far getting the 1 seed. We're just going to go ahead and send straight to the Super Bowl, see if we can somehow make 3 straight. Who knows? There's always a chance. I mean, I didn't think we'd make the first 2. We're not in this Super Bowl. Did we lose in the divisional in our first game? No, we did make it to the NFC Championship. The Eagles got their vengeance this year, 130-24. I really want to send 10 years into the future and look at Bryce Young's stats. It just takes so long. I think y'all would like to see it. We're going to do it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to send 10 years into the future. Where the CPU will take over the team. Everything will be auto. Or actually, let me make sure I set everything to auto just to make sure that's not how that works. All right, everything has been set to automatic. We're going to sim 10 years. I don't know. I'm going to, like, take a shower and be my meat. We'll see how Bryce Young does in the rest of his career. We'll try to figure out if he played for any different teams. We'll look at his career stats. But, yeah, let's go ahead and sim 10 years into the future. I'll see y'all in 10 years. And just like that, we are 10 years into the future. It is now 2039. The biggest question now is Bryce Young is still a Los Angeles Ram. There's also a chance he's retired by now, so he may not be in the league anymore. No, we got somebody by the name of D. Hill. Let's look around the league, see if Bryce Young is still even in the league anymore. So CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams are both still in the league. Looks like Bryce Young actually isn't, which sucks because I can't even check all of his stats. I thought you could go back in time in the league transactions. I was gonna go, like, the whole point of this was to see all of Bryce Young's stats. However, he finished as the Rams' all-time passing yard leader and touchdown leader. Puka Nacua receiving yards and touchdown catches leader for the Rams all-time. And I'm assuming, if that's the case, that he was on the Rams for most of his career. So the best we can do is look at the league history, see if the Rams made any other Super Bowls or anything like that. So here's the year we lost to the Ravens in the Super Bowl. The next season, we beat the Bills. Next season, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Didn't make it in 2030. Didn't make it in 31. Didn't make it in 32. Didn't make it in 33. Didn't make it in 34. Didn't make it in 35. Didn't make it in 36, 37, or 38. Did he win an MVP during any of those years? Maybe. No, he did not. So unfortunately, I wanted to look at like all of his season stats. Bryce Young had a pretty good insanity run. Apparently it ended. I guess I simmed too far into the future. I didn't really think about the fact that in 10 years he would have been 37 and probably not in the league anymore. However, his insanity run did end. We don't know what he did in the playoffs or whatnot, but he did finish as the Rams' all-time passing yards leader and all-time touchdown. So he definitely did revive the career of Bryce Young. He made it to 2 Super Bowls, 3 NFC championships, and he won a Super Bowl. Potentially a Hall of Fame career. I don't know. It's up for debate, but I'm so glad we were able to save Bryce Young's career. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and comment what video you guys want to see. I hope you made it to the end because this video was a certified banger. I love you. Deuces.
In a trap and I'm tweaking with my brothers. Yeah, you bad, but I'm tryna see your mother. Don't even say a name, you know that it's fuck her. I just wanna see him